and welcome to Blockbuster Bums. Kick back your recliner, crack open a beer, and let's talk movies. And today we're here to talk about Bastogne, Episode 6 from Band of Brothers. This is where shit really hits the fan for the boys. One of my favorite episodes. And the episode is really about Doc. So kind of a change up here. You went from a Winters episode to a Doc episode. Doc's never really been prominent before. So interesting. All four of us are returning again today. Me, Tom, AJ, Ray, all here to talk Band of Brothers with you. So let's get started. Tom, what did you think of your rewatch of Bastogne?
I'll be honest. I watched this episode a couple times. Honestly, the first time didn't really enjoy it, but really I think it's because just up until now I haven't seen a whole lot of Doc, and he just wasn't my favorite character. So it was kind of hard to get on board for it in the beginning. The second time though, actually seeing like everything through the medic's eyes, like you're saying, it's a Doc heavy episode. It's all like you're just with him throughout the whole adventure. But then having to see everybody like in the company that he helps and everybody that he does help patch up and get in and out, like like I did appreciate it a lot more. It is probably one of my more favorite episodes, honestly. Now,
Yeah, awesome. AJ, what were your thoughts?
It's a very dense episode.
It
There's
is.
a lot
yes,
going on from start to finish. I do appreciate saying Doc. You got that moment in the previous episode where he chewed out Winners, which was, you know, nice to kind of get more of an introduction. Because really, I think you just see him in the background for the most part.
Yeah, he offers Winters coffee, I think, at one
Yeah,
point,
and
like
there's
stuff like that.
the episode with Blythe. You see him a little
Yeah.
bit, but like,
hmm
yeah, you definitely don't see him much until this episode. But
All right, Ray, what were your thoughts, buddy?
It just for me it kind of shows just how mentally strong you have to be
Mm,
to survive something like that, along with having people around you that are mentally strong to pull the people that aren't that way to survive with you, especially in that cold climate with a lot of stuff going on and not knowing if you're going to make it the next day or not. So, I mean, for me, it was a good episode. Storytelling that between the doc part, uh, all the wounded at the med center coming back, the wounded there. It was just a crazy episode showing survival.
well, I think that's a great way to put it, Ray. My big thing is I see where Tom's coming from with Doc's not really your favorite character. He's not been a prominent character. Why are we giving him an episode? But I think I said off air, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Like he was the only one that could show what they were trying to show, so it had to be Doc. And I, it may have done them a favor to make Doc a little bit more prominent before now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It may not have been the huge surprise it was to get a full Doc episode. If he would have had like a couple speaking lines every episode before now, but like you said, I think he's offered somebody a cup of coffee and then he yelled at somebody for using too much morphine once. Like that. That's pretty much the extent of Doc speaking in the first 5 episodes. Um, so I think it was like, and I'm not bashing this because I love Band of Brothers. I'm not bashing Band of Brothers but it was an interesting choice. I think it ended up being the correct choice, but I think they could have built to it a little bit. That's
yeah.
all. That's all I'm saying. But that being said, the episode's pretty much kicks off with them. Well, it kicks off with Doc accidentally wandering into the German lines, but then Winters immediately captures a German soldier who does the same thing, just wanders over to their line and take a shit. And when Winters captures them, and that's pretty much how the story starts there with them interrogating him, taking all of his stuff because Doc really wants his med kit, and taking his weapons and stuff, and then sending him back to to be interrogated further by somebody else. They said take him back to CP. So I don't know who's at CP to interrogate, because the only part of CP we see is the hospital.
Right.
So I don't know who all's back there to do interrogations, because they say they're surrounded. So it's not like they're shipping new guys in to do stuff.
I'm sure they got a room back there. They've got a room.
Yeah. But I think it's the first time in a while we've seen them. No, that's not true, because they took prisoners last episode too, didn't they? Yeah. So yeah.
Remember, old boy only got one round.
yeah. So I was getting ready to say something that wasn't true, so my bad. But then the next thing that happens is, and I forget his name, so I apologize, but some sort of commanding officer, much higher up than Winters and Nixon, shows up.
Oh, we'll just call him douchebag.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This caused kind of a visceral reaction to me. I was very upset, more upset than I should be at a TV show. But I know this is real. I think so. This maybe gets to me more than watching a regular movie. But he's like, "Give it to me straight," and they tell him all the problems they're having, and he doesn't even attempt to solve any of them. He's just like, "Well, I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to hold it anyway," and then drives away.
Close those gaps. Like,
Yeah.
That's what he said. Like,
And I'm like, why the fuck ask the questions then? Hey, we don't have enough ammo. Oh, we can't give you that. Oh, we don't have winter clothes. Oh, we can't give you that. Oh, we don't have enough soldiers. Oh, we don't have any more to give you. Well, I guess I got nothing for you guys. I'm going to bounce out. I'll talk to y'all later.
yeah, he just wanted the report. That's all. He wasn't there to give good news.
Nope. They're getting his weekly.
I mean, I have written down over here, all their complaints fell on deaf ears. But I feel like complaints gives it a bad rap, because they weren't necessarily complaining.
They were completely valid.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were completely valid things. Like, hey, we're sitting out here in all this snow without coats and hats and gloves. Like, hey, we're out here trying to kill all these Germans without ammo. Hey, like, we don't have very much food. And by the way, food helps you stay warm when you're cold. Talking about like what Ray talked about, mental toughness, man. You're starving. You could die at any second. You're freezing. Like, you're not sleeping. Like,
Well, it probably would have helped if some of the airdrops landed where they were supposed to, rather than giving it to the Germans. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if those went as planned, like you wouldn't be as cold or hungry. Like,
yeah, I mean,
There's-
and the Germans aren't cold and hungry, at least anymore.
yeah,
Oh no,
you-
they're
you
set up.
really-
They're
yeah,
set up in a
like,
good spot.
Yeah. Well, at one point during the episode, you hear the Germans singing Christmas carols.
Silent Night.
Yeah, and you assume there's probably drinking going on as they do this. So I think the Germans were doing all right for themselves.
Yeah, fuckers.
But then we see actually where kind of things kind of hit the fan for the first time on screen for us, where they send out a patrol. Martin's in charge of the patrol. Martin goes out there and takes Bull and his squad, and immediately, and I don't know if we know the guy's name. He's not one of the original guys. Gets shot, and they're trying to get to him. Babe, especially Babe Heffron, is trying to get to him multiple times. Keeps trying to get to him, and they end up getting repelled and having to leave the man behind. He's clearly dying anyway, but still, they have to leave a man behind.
Shot in the neck, upper torso. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was rough. Babe takes it awful. But even Martin, when he has to give the report to Winters, I feel like he's like super bummed out about it. Like, hey, we tried like multiple times to get to him, we couldn't. I'm sorry, but we had to leave him.
Yeah.
Which, not ideal for sure.
Yeah.
But then that leads to Babe kind of just he leaves his post. Like, they show up at his foxhole and he's not in it. And then they go to another hole and he's sitting in there under a blanket, like cuddling with one of the other men. And I'm not trying to be too judgmental here, but I'm just like, you can't leave your post on the line. Like, there's nobody in that hole now. Like,
Yeah.
Like Germans are already wondering. And
yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
another gap. Like,
So I understand, like, that was his foxhole mate, and like I'm sure he feels like he let him down. I'm sure he feels like he failed him. I mean, he says as much. I'm not making this up. He says as much, but it's one of the first times you're seeing one of these guys almost like not do their duty because they're messed up about something.
Yeah.
It's not something we've seen as to this point. Nothing comes of it, mind you, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah, because he
But
could have let everybody down, and then he really would have been feeling bad about shit.
exactly. But I don't even know that Babe's recovered by the end of the episode, is he? I mean, he's kind of mopey the rest of the episode, isn't he?
I mean, I would
think
say no.
so.
'Cause,
he's not
he-
that bad the rest of the
yeah.
episode, but he's
Oh, yeah. He's the one that at the very end of the episode ends on him
Yeah.
because he's getting his hand wrapped
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, just call me babe. Like, and then they make that joke about it. Yeah, like,
And, there's finally a supply drop. You see the planes come over.
in the right spot.
Yeah, in the right spot. By the way, not all of them. Some of them land on top of buildings. Some of them land in trees.
Yeah, like the
Like-
yeah, as I'm watching, I was like, I keep telling myself, as 40s and everything. That's how we're doing it. But I was like, really, this is what we landed on as the idea. Like this is it. Like,
Well, how much ammo can you drop out of a plane?
Probably a lot.
I was gonna say.
No,
yeah,
but I'm saying,
as
like-
much as a cargo plane will hold.
No, I'm not saying like how much could a plane hold, but how much can you drop and not damage it?
Imagine that. It's like, how's it
I mean, if
packaged?
it's packaged correct, I guess you could.
Because that shit looked pretty solid. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
when it was hitting those roofs and everything like
'Cause
that,
they're in-
shit looked pretty solid.
They're in ammo cans, so I'm
Yeah.
guessing they could take a pretty good, punishment.
Yeah, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
stacked inside like a giant ass gaylord anyway. So I mean, like,
Plus,
Yeah.
it's probably in a nice wooden box. About 50 ammo cans in a big wooden box. Bam. So it's double impact, so it'd be okay.
You really want to be the guy dropping mortar rounds out of a plane?
Uh,
I don't want to be the guy catching it.
I'll drop the round.
Yeah.
I prefer being the guy dropping the rounds. Actually, like,
I just don't want to be there when they get dropped.
yeah, I don't want to we gotta send someone new in for the landing. Like,
I
hey,
mean, I
like,
can
go
trust
check-
you so much.
Yeah, go check and make sure that crate's okay over there.
Yeah.
Like, just like.
Yeah, private.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the one that says rations. Like, it's just
But you see a completely different Easy Company after the supply drop because they're all in stocking caps. They all have gloves on. They all have coats on. That had to be such like the most gigantic relief right there. Yeah, you want the ammo. Yeah, you want the food. But just I don't have to be. I'm not out here
I said, you're
burying the elements all by
you're
myself
not
anymore.
As miserable now. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you suffered so much for so long that it's like that little amenity is like, oh, I'm ready now. Like,
Yeah. Well, that you saw also, like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they started doing more things around their camp after they got proper clothes. Like, some of them started putting roofs on their foxholes,
Oh, yeah.
and they were digging their foxholes deeper.
like,
And,
you
like-
actually do you work. Like I said, it's like you can be in the element.
Yeah, it was like a huge morale boost, even though they were still surrounded, even though the Germans were dug in better, and the Germans had better weapons at that point because they had tanks and they had mortar rounds and everything. And
It really just seemed like the whole being dug in the tree line area really stopped their tanks a whole lot.
it was, yeah.
Like that was the whole thing there, to where I was like, it was almost like a little stalemate, to where like you can't get us, even though you have superior firepower, but at the same time, like we can't leave where we're at either. Like,
And we can't do anything to your tanks.
Yeah.
Like, we have nothing that hurts
yeah,
them.
yeah, that's what I said. Like, what are we gonna do against that? Like, that's
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't just roll a bunch of tanks down the road into, directly into the city. I don't know that they could have.
I'm going to assume that there was some like bridges blown out that we never saw or something, because yeah, going to the city would be, it seems like the logical thing to do. Somebody else I really want to talk about that's not in the 25, so we can do is Pike. Pike just comes across so bad in this episode. First off, the fact that he can't find his own foxhole and has to
yeah.
be shown to his own foxhole by Lipton. Like, are you serious? You've got to call for your sergeant to take you to your foxhole.
Well, it's just like, probably Secret Service trying to show Biden to where his bed was.
Well, then I couldn't help but wonder. You think he made them dig him too? You think
Oh, I
you think
guarantee
the men had to dig his foxhole for him?
Oh, I bet. I bet he's one of them bougie officers.
Well, 'cause wasn't he even the one? Because if he's the one, yeah, if he's the one who I'm thinking he is, the only redeeming quality that I found in him is when Doc was going around getting med kits and everything.
He gave his up.
Yeah, he gave up the whole kit.
Yeah.
He did. Yes.
Because at first he was like, do you have any morphine you could spare? And he's like, well, what do I do if I get shot? I'm like, well, I'll be there. Like, hands, and he made his joke like, well, I don't plan on getting shot. Like, and
Yeah, but you're right. But maybe it was just because I was pissed at him at that point. But I didn't take it as a joke. I took it as like, I'm gonna hide in this foxhole.
Yeah.
Like that's where I took it.
yeah, I still took it as because you're still there. You're still getting shot at like everybody else, more or less. Like, yeah, your hole's probably dug a little bit nicer and deeper. But I mean, like I took it at least of that. Like, I mean, you still have just as much of a chance of catching a stray bullet as anybody.
I mean, honestly, I took it as incompetence and
Yeah.
just poor judgment, because obviously anyone can get hit.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't take it as bravado or anything other than he has no idea. What's
See,
going on.
the first time I did take it as bravado. I did take it as like arrogance, like, oh, I'm not gonna get hit. Because I remember the first episode, yeah, I did take it as that because, like you said, like I said, the fact that like almost like a false air of confidence, to where like this guy doesn't think he's gonna get hit, but he can't even find his own foxhole.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was like, who is this fool? Like, that's
But
how
here-
I took it the first time. The
but here-
second time, I feel like it was more of like, hey, you will need this more than me. Like,
But here's the other infuriating part about Dyke is he can't find his own foxhole, but he goes through long periods of this episode where they're looking for him and can't find him.
yeah.
So he is left camp, like left the foxholes, but they don't know where he is. Even Winters can't find. Even Winters doesn't know where he is. So it's like, is he wandering off into the woods somewhere where nobody can find him, including the Germans? Like, is he a traitor? Is he over there hanging out with the Germans? Like, what is going on here? I'm not accusing him of being a traitor. It was a joke, but he may not have been a good officer, but I'm not accusing him of being a traitor. Yeah, Dyke is just such an odd character, and I can't help every time. Like there's been a few comments here recently from the actual Band of Brothers members, the old guys at the beginning and the ends of the episodes, where they talk about, like, the one guy goes, "We had really good officers for the most part," and I automatically was like, "He's talking about Dyke." Like, I automatically went there, But I was like, I mean, obviously I don't know if that's who he's talking about, but I just automatically assumed it.
Yep.
And then while we're on that topic of dumb officers, I like Welsh in his character, but this is the dumbest thing of the whole episode, where he starts a fire.
Oh my God.
And I don't know who's there with him. There's somebody else there with him squatting around the fire. And then Winters walks up and is telling them off for starting the fire as he squats down, is warming himself to the fire. And then a Nixon walks up and is like, "I could swear I smelled a fire." And then he's like, "Oh my gosh, I did smell a fire. What are you guys doing? This is dumb." And they're like, him and Winters are both chastising them.
But the running joke is that we're in Adele. Like, that's what I mean. It's like it's just like the whole thing is just a running joke. like it's a costly joke, but it's hilarious. Like,
and then immediately they drop a mortar shell at the fire, and Welsh's character gets hit good,
Yeah.
and has to be taken off the line.
But see, they've been killing me for 6 episodes because they all been smoking at nighttime.
Yeah.
yeah,
They've all been smoking at nighttime, and it's like, this is the first big
Really?
big stupidity move. I mean, they've been stupid for smoking at night, and they're lucky they haven't got picked off by now.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was more taken back by how it took Doc so long to get, like, come to his wit and everything. Like, when they went and got him out of the hole. because there was almost like he didn't want to get out and everything. It was reluctant, like he was going through his own thing, and then he snapped to it of like, oh, seen it and everything. Then quick tourniquet, clotting agent, wrap, like take him, like and.
But then Winter's seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and was like, "Hey, go get something to eat, bro." Like,
Yeah.
just like you look like beat. Like,
Well, that leads me into the next point I have written down on my notes here is, last episode we started to see Buck losing it a little bit.
Buck's
And
losing it in this one.
well, no,
Like,
he is.
like,
He is, but
talk about
everybody is.
the Goths and Visigoths and everything. He's like, they came down this hill. Like, imagine all of it and all. Like, and it's like, yeah, like it's like, how was college there? Like, I don't remember. Like, it's just like.
But the
See that, like the jokes and everything, or like,
but everybody seems to be struggling at this point. The entire company seems to be
yeah, they're starving and freezing up until they
Yeah.
got like gloves and shit. One dude didn't have shoes, like,
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
like,
Yeah.
for real. Like it's like everybody is suffering here and everything. Winter blows. Like it's like that's what we've learned here. Like it's like what old boy said in the beginning and everything. On a cold night, he's like, "I'll say to my wife, I'm glad I'm not in Bastogne." Like,
Oh
it's-
yeah.
like it's like that's been a running joke of that old man's life is the rest of his life. Like he probably retired to Florida. Like just
See,
like,
but these are the men that we're talking about when we're talking about in current society. All these people talking about all the trauma they have,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're like, no, this is fucking trauma, people.
Yeah.
Like this is the real deal shit. Like these men watched their friends get ripped apart. They
watch
killed-
trees get blown into each other. Like
killed countless other human beings. Almost froze to death, almost starved to death, almost died. Almost everybody is wounded at some point or another, and went back and were productive parts of society.
Yeah.
They didn't need a crying room or a safe space or whatever. They
Or to vandalize fucking monuments because save Palestine.
like it. It's a it kind of makes you think about like, man, we are weak right now.
Yeah.
Like, we're just weak right now as a society. But anyway, off my soapbox.
it's okay. Hard times are coming. Like, that makes strong men. Like so, that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like
But
so, just brace yourself, Ray. Like,
I got a sword over here. I'm ready.
like, when you're ready. Like,
but we mentioned Doc getting sent back to get a warm meal and get away from the battle. Well, he shows up there, and they drop artillery on the hospital, which it's got to be super disheartening for the medical guy. Like, hey, I've been escorting people back to the hospital all these times, and this is where I get my supplies, and this is where they help everybody that I get off the line, and then they blow it up, and everybody is dead. Like that's got to be super disheartening.
Yeah.
But almost the opposite happens to Doc. It like reinvigorates him. Like he shows back up at the line, is like got a pep in his step, and is like bounding around doing stuff again. It was almost like it woke him up. I can't explain it. Obviously, I can't get in the guy's head, but
Yeah.
it almost had the opposite effect I thought it would on him.
I mean, I think that's just how they wove the whole love interest thing with his character. In
Yeah,
this.
yeah, kind of like he needs to keeping on,
Yeah, well, it was like the thing is like they met under the terms like they're both there like in this like zone and all that like caring for people and everything. They were going through all this and like yeah, it leads you to believe that she probably lost her life perhaps and everything in it. And all he's got is the scarf and everything she wore around her head and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I can see it like oh, like she would have wanted like I can see how it would be like like you said a reinvigorating thing and all that.
Carrying on in her.
Yeah,
memory,
to where it's like, hey, like, because that was what bonded you two is that your shared humanity for others.
Yeah. I can see that.
And the chocolate.
Yeah, the bitch knew where to get sweets all the time. Like, like everybody else, people can't find bullets and everything, but she has an endless supply of Hershey's in her back pocket apparently. So yeah, I don't know where that was coming about, but yeah. Because he's like, yeah, he was bringing it back to people like and feeding it to old boy.
He
and
gave it to
everything.
Babe, yeah.
Like, so I was like, here, eat the like, just like,
Chocolate is supposed to be like sugar. It's sugar, not chocolate. But usually people use chocolate for shock.
Mm.
It's supposed to
Oh,
help with
yeah.
shock.
It's a good antidepressant and all that too. And, I mean, it
Yeah.
was. I assume it was French chocolate, so it was better than what we get. So I mean,
And those
Yeah.
blocks are big. It's not no thin little Hershey bar like you're like. It's like
no,
bang.
yeah. That was like a couple episodes ago where the kid gave like a
Yeah.
bar to that, or the guy gave a bar to
Yeah,
that kid.
Webster gave it to the
Yeah,
kid.
and it was like
Yeah.
a brick.
Yeah.
Like it was like that's how it came out of the extrusion line and everything. To where like you can hear that thing snap every time she took a bite and shit. Like
Well, it's a very compact way to carry 4,000 calories.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's like they're coming right after the depression times. Like here, it's like
Yeah.
a full week's worth of food.
He broke off a fourth of a chocolate bar and gave it to Babe. That was the most calories he's had in a day in like a month.
Yeah, like that's why
Like-
he perked up though. Like oh shit, like just like.
Well, I'm gonna move into some interesting facts while Ray can get up our board here. Um, so I just this has nothing really to do with the episode per se, but I found this out this week. When they brought these guys in to read for their parts, they brought you in and they had you read one line from the show, and then they sent you to who they wanted you to read for based on how you read that line. And it's a Spears line. It's the speech he gives to
Blythe?
Blythe, the whole "you're already dead" speech. That's what they had them read when they all walked in. Like they all took turns reading that, and they're like, "Okay, but by the way they read that, I want you to go read for Doc. I want you to go read for Winters. I want you to go read for Nixon." Whatever they were doing.
Interesting.
I thought so. Like, yeah,
I like it because it would almost be like you said, how many different ways are you going to interpret that line? So then everybody's going to try to put their own take on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's almost like you're gonna vet people by their own individual personality interpretation of it. So it's like, hey, they read it this way. You kind of act like old boy, like you read it at this tone. You're totally this guy. Like you would almost pick based on their like acting of it.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Okay.
It's sneaky. Like
Shane Taylor, the actor who played Doc Rowe, did not get to meet Doc Rowe. Doc Rowe died before they could meet. Doc Rowe lived through the war. He died in the early 90s, I think.
Oh.
But he did get to interview his family members. Like, he interviewed his wife. Like I said, he actually kind of became friends with his grandson.
that's cool.
So there was a connection, but he did not actually get to interview and pick the brain of Doc Rowe. He just had to take like what Winters and these other guys said about him and like put them together.
Yeah.
Put the pieces together. I mean, sorry. And then my last fact is all the Bastogne scenes, the snow scenes, the trees blowing up, the whole Bastogne stuff in this episode and the next one are shot indoors.
Ooh, I wouldn't have guessed.
Really?
No.
Yep.
I
They had to take breaks all the time and wipe all the sweat off all the characters because they're in all these wool uniforms
Yeah.
inside in like 75 degrees.
Huh.
And they keep blowing things up. And like in the interviews they were talking about, like you could feel the real heat coming off when they would blow things up.
You're
Like
trapped in the room. Like,
and they said like all the trees were made of fiberglass, and they had explosive devices inside them, so they really blew them out. But then they went back together like puzzle pieces, and they just put them back together and blew them up again.
that'd be so fucking tedious.
So
Interesting.
I mean,
No, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that though. Especially, yeah. So I mean, I
Especially-
guess I could see how it would be shot that way, but no, I just I just figured you.
Well, especially with
You're
like
shooting
the
forced.
Yeah, like I feel like it would just be always just set a track down on everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll blow up a real tree. I'll plant one in Israel. It'll be fine. Like I'll tit for
Well,
tat. It'll be
like-
all right.
like-
Like, just
like especially those downfield shots across the line. You know,
Mhm.
I would have never thought.
no, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about. I was like just in the woods. I was like, like you said, the depth of it and everything. But then it's like, yeah, you pump enough fog and white background, I guess. Like you can't see enough, but like you said, that scene where like they actually showed like the trucks and tanks come out of the tree line and stuff. Like
Yeah.
So I listened
it's
to
a big ass hangar.
Shane Taylor talk about it, and he said that he knows that they're inside when he watches it again, and he said visually he can't tell. He's like, but if you listen, the gunfire echoes.
Mm.
He goes, if you listen close, he goes, the gunfire echoes,
Now
and
I'm
he
just gonna listen for it in the next
exactly.
episode.
That's what I said. I want to
all-
listen
like,
for it in
it's-
episode 7.
But
But
cranked all the way up and all that. I was like, no, I hear an echo. Like my neighbor's gonna think I'm crazy. Like it's like
but yeah, he's like, that's the only way you can tell. He said they did a great job of hiding the fact that we were in a building.
yeah, got that Tom Hanks money.
Yeah.
All right, to the board, Ray.
Yes, sir.
The board of brothers.
And I will say, Winters is in this episode, but other than him at the very beginning of the episode when he captures the soldier,
Still a hard ass shaving in the freezing. Like, just,
Yeah,
like, just-
yes.
like we gotta just shave ice off my face. Like it just. And I want to capture a soldier mid shave. Just like that's all I could think of. Was like that shaving cream just is solid on his chin there.
Mhm.
Dude, that
Like,
shit, but you
my-
know, field shaving sucks, dude. With that cold fucking canteen water and that
no,
goddamn
he's just-
shaving
yeah.
gel with a fucking straight razor. That
That's what
shit
I'm saying.
fucking sucks,
It's
dude.
it's gotta blow like because I get ice on my beard just breathing. So it's like water on the face sitting there and all that. I was like, that's frozen. Like that's just frozen. Like
Yeah.
like you got frostbite on your neck, bro. Don't play. Like just like
But then he immediately gives his report to that commanding officer who does them nothing. And then he's just kind of background character for the rest of the episode after that.
Yeah.
He's not
Except
really.
for the scene with the fire. Yeah.
Oh, the fire,
the
yeah. in
fire
the fire.
scene. Yeah.
Yep. And Nixon is almost a background character the entire time. He gets up in the middle of that report.
It literally like
Yeah.
what do you have to say, Nixon? And he pops up. Is like, oh well, we're surrounded everywhere. Just like, they keep coming through. We can't stop them. Like, just like, good job, bro. Like,
Yeah, and he's at the fire scene as well. But other than that, he's just a background character. It's the first time I think we've really seen those two be background characters for an extended period of time in an episode.
yeah.
And then, like we said, this is really Doc's episode. I mean, he's obviously the main character. He gets majority of the screen time. You see kind of a love interest thing with him and the nurse. You see him taking care of pretty much every single person in the company. I mean, he talks to Winters, he talks to Nixon, he talks to Skinny and Lipton and Martin and Bull and Buck, and he's taking care of Toy's feet. He's talking to Muck and Pincala. Like he's all over the place. He's just jumping from foxhole to foxhole trying to get supplies or trying to get this. Like,
is that dude getting high in the episode?
Yeah, the first time I watched the show, that's exactly what I thought was going on. But on subsequent viewings, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Because where he's keep looking for morphine, and he's acting a little bit out of it.
Well, but that was-
he is acting out of it.
But
That's
that was
for sure.
that was one of the jokes.
Yeah.
One of the jokes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey Doc, you're not using this yourself, are you?" And all that, like, and tossed him one of
Yeah.
his. Like,
But at the same time, we do see him use morphine on people multiple times in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he uses it on Welsh. He uses it on Skinny when Skinny takes the wood pieces in the leg. He uses it on
they got hit in the shoulder.
he uses it on Smokey when Smokey gets shot.
Because
So-
Smokey even got a plasma. In it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So I mean, we know he's using them. I never thought of that, Ray. I guess that's a good thing you picked up that I didn't.
I thought of it, but only because of how pale he was in a couple scenes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
then I was like, well, no.
it's like below zero out.
Yeah,
There's
like,
nothing
I-
out in it.
Again, on subsequent
Because-
viewings, I don't think they're
because they
implying
kind of
that at all.
insinuate at it, but you can't prove it because he's always got the morphine to give to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So yeah, Doc is just so prevalent, and I think the actor does a really good job of portraying how miserable he is, how much he's struggling, constantly having to try and save people that are dying, and the fact that he's not properly supplied to do his job,
Yeah.
and he's showing that frustration.
Yeah.
I just mentioned. Sorry, go ahead.
I was like saying almost like Doc sees it as a calling too, because
Yeah, I
there's
think
even a
so.
time where he even like when he talks about like his Cajun upbringing and how his grandmother
Yep.
was a healer, and
Yep.
he does this little prayer before he has to leave
Yep.
his hole, and there's even like I think Doc Jill, or even the one where it's like it talks about like helping them with all my being or something like that. He keeps repeating himself there. Like I think Doc he enjoys being a healer, yes, but obviously you don't enjoy the atrocities you're healing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's one of those things where I think it almost in his way to where it's like, no, it's kind of in my blood that like I come from a family of healers type thing. This is what we do. Like,
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I hope I didn't come across that way. I wasn't meaning that he was necessarily feeling like he was failing. I feel like he was thinking through like, you're causing me to fail because I don't have the things I need to save these people. It wasn't like I can't do
Well,
this.
yeah.
It wasn't a
no, and I think we see
doubt.
that when him and the nurse lost the old boy on the table.
Yeah.
I think that's where you see that frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was one there to where like it wasn't in the war zone itself, or so to speak. It was like in like the makeshift hospital in the church.
Yeah.
You had the guy on the table. You have another like nurse here. Like you have every amenity there that you have at the time, and couldn't get it done. And I think that was like you said, that shows the frustrating part there.
Mm-hmm. So then I mentioned a couple of these, but I think more than anything, you have Toy and his problem. Toy's boots get blown up by a mortar fire or some sort of
Yeah, it was like one of the first shellings they took.
shellings, and so he is walking around in the snow with just rags wrapped around his feet, staying on patrol with no boots on. We don't know how long he goes without boots. It doesn't really give us details on that. Doc does end up getting him boots off a dead body at some point, but then he gets trench foot, but is refusing to come off the line.
Which,
Like,
hey, if it was really that hot in there, he may have got trench foot in real life. Like, it's like, so he may have been an issue. Like,
but he's probably the person I feel the worst for in this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, walking around, like, they were all miserable, but not having boots, that would have just taken it to a whole new level.
I hate having cold feet.
Oh, man. And then talking about painful things, then we have Garnier talking about how he's pissing razor blades.
was AJ and I were talking off camera, but like how remember his last conversation with
Winters, he asked if a place called Lulu's.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Work, and now he's
Yeah.
pissing red. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't have penicillin. He's like, what? Like, he's like, yeah, like it's like,
I forgot about Lulu's.
He's like, drink plenty of water, and he's like,
yeah, what?
pissing's what hurts. Yeah,
Hey, everybody's had their problem. Like that.
yeah. Then we have Buck. Buck continues to struggle and probably gets worse during the course of this episode. But
Yeah.
they start. It's you. I think through the first part of it, you think it's because, like everybody else, the cold and the hunger and all the things. But then you remember he was struggling when they were back at base camp before they were cold and hungry, and then you find him staring at that picture, and it's like, oh, my girl broke up with me. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't give a shit if it makes anybody mad. I think there is a special place in hell reserved for people who leave their spouses while they're deployed at war.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
because that
The-
like
the-
once again like the dark humor that goes along with, because that's what you're gonna use anyway, and also it's like what else you gonna say to the guy? You're sitting there next to him. He just gave you the picture. It's like, fuck it. Like he's like, just in time. Like he's like, you don't have to buy a gift, bro. Like, but yeah, like it. Yeah, you can tell that Buck's a little shaken.
no, he's probably the farthest along as far as like kind of losing his mind. He's probably the farthest along.
Yeah,
at
like I
this
said,
point.
like He's staring out in the field talking about historical battles and shit, and they're in the same fields. Like,
Can you
yeah,
imagine? That's where the Huns came down, right through the
yeah,
trees, right there.
the Goths and Visigoths are right here and all. They're like, Buck, I haven't seen you blink in 3 minutes, bro. It's like just wet your eyes one time. Just give me one of these. Like,
But what? Like I kind of want to talk about this for a minute because it really bothers me, and it's not the only time we see it happen. But like, why? Like, even if you are going to do it, why do you write a letter to the man a day that he gets at Christmas that you're saying, "Hey, I know you're over there trying not to die right now, but I just want to let you know I'm breaking up with you."
It's just common courtesy, Alex. You know.
Yeah, common courtesy. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't understand
weird, yeah.
the mindset.
It's the official end, is what it is. To a
so
stupid
that-
bitch writing a letter.
so that she can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did her first. She told him she don't have to feel guilty. She can move on with her life.
But here's my other thing too. Who's at home you're moving on to?
Right? Yeah.
Like every decent or every physically capable male of your age is gone. Like they've all been taken away to go to war. Like all you got left is like old men and cripples.
Yeah, you got that
Like-
that 4F guy that didn't make it into the army in the first place.
yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of simps still around. Like, I'm sure like it was a thing at the time as well.
Yeah.
Like,
You got many.
yeah.
You got Johnny fucking Beer Drizzler. You know.
So then we also have Skinny, who takes the tree shrapnel to
that
the
just
leg.
looks brutal.
But
Yeah.
again, he
But they
doesn't
were-
leave the line. He stays.
Mhm.
He refuses to go back.
No, the one that got me about that was when he told Doc to save the
Save
morphine.
the morphine. Yeah.
Yes.
Really, because they were pulling chunks of it out and all. But I think there was some reverse psychology there because it was like, as Doc was like wrapping it up, he's like, "Not that bad," and you hear him repeat, he's like, "Oh, not that bad, not that bad," and then he was like, "No, save it." Like it was almost like having like a doctor say that to you. It was like, "Oh, well, if he said it's not bad, fuck it." Like and. It's like, all right, but we don't know that. Like, just like,
There is a bunch of wood in
yeah,
your leg.
you just got stabbed by a tree. Like, just like, I don't know how we can process this, but like,
See, and that's that extra bottle of morphine Doc used for himself.
yeah, like, oh, that's fine. Like, just walk it off. Like,
I got you, buddy.
yeah.
I don't know, Ray. I don't know if we should be throwing that out there. That's a real person we're talking about.
I know, and I know we're joking around, and
Um,
I'm
I
not
just
a
keep thinking of it,
detective, and
though.
I don't know the real Skinny, but
I keep
the
thinking of
episode just really alludes to him doing some morphine on his side.
I just always like that show, Young Doctor's Apprentice, when Daniel Radcliffe's doing all the
Yeah.
morphine, like replacing it with water and all, and then
Yeah.
eventually he's done
Wow.
all the morphine.
Right?
Like, there's just water to give the patients. Like,
and I say this one for last because it's something we haven't really dealt with yet, and we will deal with more of it. Smokey gets it this episode. He does not die, mind you. We still don't have our first death in the 25, but Smokey is shot through his right shoulder, travels all the way through his torso and out his left shoulder, and he is paralyzed.
just so shitty.
He is not only shot and wounded, but is taken off the line to never return to the line. He is actually sent back to America at this point. True story. I looked it up to make sure. He's sent back to America and has a very, very long road ahead of him to get back to where he can semi-function physically again. But he does. He does. He's able to walk again at some point later in his life. But a lot of rehab, a lot of hospital surgeries, all sorts of stuff. Feel bad for him. Like I think Tom said off air, all he was doing was getting a drink of coffee, sitting in his foxhole, drinking,
Like,
getting
they
a
were
drink.
just ready to get for the fight and everything. He had just turned and boom, and then just done. Like, so shitty. Like, you're in the hole the whole time, ready to go. Like,
Yeah, he didn't jump out of his hole and go run to do something.
no,
he
like I
didn't.
said, he turned literally and just like showed enough shoulder that you just caught the bullet right through. Like, shitty.
Indeed.
Unlucky.
I guess, I guess you look at it multiple ways. I mean, I'm sure he had to keep silver linings in mind, and it could have gone through his heart. I mean, his heart's right
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean,
Lungs,
yeah,
could have messed up both lungs.
Yeah, his
That's-
lungs. Yeah.
I feel like you puncture one lung out there, you're sort of screwed.
Yeah.
Like you're probably gonna drown by the time you get any help for it.
But as far as the rest of them, everybody that was on the board today was in this episode. Like I said, majority of the guys showed up. So I was happy about that. We got to see the biggest group we have seen, I think, since probably training. As far as like majority of them
Yeah, 'cause
being
that's
there.
the first time they've all been together for something. Like they're for a while, like I said, since the jump, they've been scattered.
That's true. They were scattered
Like,
for
that's
multiple
like-
episodes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Mhm.
just now and all that. Like, well,
Yep. Well, does anybody have anything to add before we wrap up here?
I don't know. I'm gonna side with the 101st or whatever, and I don't think they needed help.
We'll get into that more next
Like-
episode because I do want to bring that
I
up.
just
But
noticed it just flashed it at
They
the
did,
end and
yeah.
everything. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna side with these guys. Like, fuck it. Like,
while we're talking about it,
like,
I think that is an Eisenhower thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's written in all these history books that Eisenhower had to save the 101st. And the 101st guy's like, fuck you. First off, you guys are the ones that sent us there. Like, you put us there and knowing we were going to get surrounded.
Yeah.
And second off, you guys didn't supply us right. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. And we held.
Yeah.
Everybody else
All
failed.
they needed was supplies.
Yeah, they talk about it in this episode. The 501st retreated, and the 503rd retreated. Like, they got left out there alone. And they're like, oh, we got saved. No, we didn't get saved. We were the only ones that did our job. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that held the line.
that's why I'm siding with them. Like,
100%.
If you'd have kept us supplied, we'd have kept the line the whole time. Like, we'd be holding the line right now, motherfuckers. Like,
send the people that left back help. Yeah, like I was saying, those people aren't dead. Like, give them a bullet and go. Like,
that was my thing too. The guys that were leaving,
Yeah.
why did they have them leave? Why didn't they just
Reinforce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're reinforcing you. You're still here with us, but we're reinforcing you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that.
that was just dead morale. Like, I don't know. Like,
Bad leadership and training.
yeah, like,
I mean, this is fairly quickly after Market Garden, so, and we talked about how the quagmire that was Market Garden. So, but yes, I am looking forward to next week. Next week is either, my favorite or second favorite episode of this whole thing, and there'll be lots to talk about. So please, we appreciate you tuning in this week for Bastogne. What is next week's episode called?
Foy.
Is it?
what is it called?
Foy.
Boy?
Foy? I don't know.
That's where it takes place. I don't know if that's what
The Breaking Point.
breaking point. All right.
Wow.
Tune in next week for The Breaking Point, episode 7 of Band of Brothers. I almost said episode 7 of Breaking Point.
Well, that's what I was like, all right, Keanu Reeves, Breaking Point. Like, or no, Point Break. Never mind. Like,
And thanks for tuning in to Blockbuster Bums.